This episode of The Construction Record is brought to you by the Greater Toronto Sewer and Water Main Contractors Association. Clean water, our goal, our future.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Construction Record Podcast. I'm digital media editor Warren Frey, and today I have with me
Maxime Duzyk, Building Science and Engineering Director for Huntsman Building Solutions.
And we're going to talk about spray foam, which is something that I haven't talked to anybody about before. So let's get straight into it. If you could explain how spray foam is used as a form of insulation and if it's used otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. Closed-cell spray foam is a spray-applied insulation product that expands, seals, and has good adhesion to most construction materials. It acts as air barrier, vapor barrier, and insulation. This removes the need for any tape, caulking, or sealant while reducing the numbers of product and steps to complete the building envelope. Spray foam insulation can then save a lot of time on site, and projects are completed faster with a higher quality of insulation. The density of the product makes it the right choice for under slab insulation as well. The fact that it's mold resistant also makes it the perfect product for high humidity areas like basement. And the product has one of the highest R value while being one of the most durable product in the industry. In addition, our heat-lock soya HFO product is made out of soy oil and also recycled plastic bottles. Our company has recycled more than 700 million bottles since 2006.
Mm-hmm. And so soy-based product, how new a trend is that? Because it's the first I've heard of it, but it may have been something that's kind of been percolating behind the scenes for a while.
Correct, yeah. We included the soy oil back in 2006, actually, to replace the petroleum oil that was used before. So it makes it a greener product.
Mm-hmm. And what's the difference between it and the older product you were using?
Yeah, the new product is heat-lock soya HFO. So HFO is a type of blowing agent for spray foams. Compared to HFC version, HFO are greener products as their global warming potential is much lower. HFC products have a global warming potential of around 900, which means 900 times more than CO2. So HFO products have a global warming potential of less than 1, which is 99.9% lower than HFC product. This helped get more credits for LEED project, for instance, and that green aspect makes HFO products much more attractive to the design community. This is in addition to the fact that it does not have any substance that deteriorates the ozone layer. So as of January 1st, 2021, HFCs have been prohibited in the manufacturing process for spray foam. This means that every product will need to incorporate the HFO blowing agent in 2021, and not every manufacturer was ready for this transition. Some have an HFO product, but it does not meet the new standard CAN ULCS 705.1-15, and therefore does not meet the code. So Huntsman Building Solutions made sure that its HFO product meets not only the new regulations, but also the most stringent standards and testing. heat-lock soya HFO is also the only product to have its own EPD.
Right, and an EPD is an environmental product declaration. Maybe you could kind of give some detail as to what that entails.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an independently made, third-party verified, and ISO-compliant document that communicates transparent, objective, and comparable information about the life cycle environmental impact of the products. The EPD is based on a product's life cycle assessment, or LCA, which is a standardized analysis of its environmental emissions and resource over its life cycle across 6 environmental impact categories, one of which is global warming potential. HBS compared Heatlux Oil's HFO EPD to other EPDs to evaluate its relative environmental impact, and the results show that a significant reduction in all 6 environmental impact categories, including global warming potential, compared to other types of insulation. For example, when compared with other available EPDs, our EPD indicates our global warming potential performance is 39% lower than the spray foam industry average and up to 96% lower than extruded polystyrene, 77% lower than heavy density mineral wool, and 55% lower than unbound loose fill or blown in mineral wool. All these comparison accounts for embodied carbon as well.
Okay, and when I think about insulation, and maybe this is a product of age, but I think of asbestos, which of course has been banned of much places for very good reasons. Maybe you could explain how this completely differs from asbestos and is a much safer alternative.
Yeah, of course. Well, first, the regulations have changed since then. We have learned from our mistakes. For spray foam products in Canada, there is a UL standard for the product itself and also for the application. So CAN UL CS 705.1 for the product and CAN UL CS 705.2 for its application. So these standards regulate how products are tested and performed, and also how they are applied. They include safety guidelines, not only for applicators, but also for homeowners. In addition to that, applicators are certified and trained by a third party. And finally, on top of all, our product is Green Guard Gold certified as validated by UL. This is the highest certification for VOC content, confirming that our product has no negative impact on the interior air quality.
Okay, and our previous discussions on email have talked about the DMAX wall assembly. So maybe you could explain to our audience what that is and how it ties into spray foam.
Yeah, absolutely. The DMAX wall assembly is a new way of building. This application method is done with Heatlux Oil HFO closed cell insulation, where the wall is composed of regular steel studs, but instead of installing the exterior sheeting directly on the steel studs, a Z-girth is installed horizontally on the studs, and then the sheeting is installed on top of the Z-girth. This allows for space between the studs and the sheeting, which facilitates the foam to insulate between the two and removing the thermal bridge. It's like the insulation is on the exterior of the building, but actually applied from the interior. So Heatlux Oil HFO, along with this new application method, removes the need for the spray foam applicator to work outside, leaving other building envelope trades to work faster on the exterior of the building and to complete their part of the building project. It saves time spent on site, is more economical, and provides a higher building envelope quality and durability as well. The spray foam used on the interior application replaces 4 materials, including the exterior insulation, whether it's rock wool or other types of insulation, the full surface membrane, the fiberglass insulation in the cavity, and the poly. So spray foam acts as an air barrier, vapor barrier, and insulation, so it can replace all of these materials. It's not affected by water, so it can rain or snow on the product without there being a need to replace it. So as mentioned before, it's also mold resistant, which makes it the perfect product for this application.
Okay, and what kind of buildings would this be used in, like residential, commercial, institutional, or are there certain ones that can't be used in?
Well, the DMAX wall assembly is mostly used in commercial construction, although it could be applied in residential construction as well. Many different assemblies can be installed in both residential and commercial construction. Many commercial projects are using spray foam for walls and are now integrating the under slab application as well, as it saves a lot of time on site. In residential construction, spray foam can insulate the complete house, under slab, foundation wall, and roof as well, and for sure the rim joists also. Cathedral roofs are often problematic to ventilate, And there are often issues with condensation as well in these types of roofs. So spray foam is a great solution for this application. As I mentioned, we also often see spray foam applied in the rim joist, as it's one of the most difficult area to perfectly seal, and also on basement walls, because it's basements are usually humid areas. An application that we see more and more as people realize radon is a threat is the under slab application, where spray foam is applied before pouring the concrete slab in basements, to first insulate the slab, but also to protect from radon infiltration.
In terms of retrofitting, is it possible to take out old insulation and then replace it with a spray foam solution, or is this primarily for new projects?
No, many retrofit projects are using spray foam insulation, because first, it's one of the most durable insulation, and also because it can save time to apply this product, because you don't need any membrane. Retrofit projects often have like dirt or construction materials that have aged. So the adhesion of certain products on these types of substrate are sometimes weak. So that's why spray foam is such a good product for these types of projects. We see often fiberglass being removed from projects that have had water infiltration, for instance, and it is replaced by spray foam because it acts as the air vapor barrier, as insulation as well. So it saves a lot of time on site, and also saves many steps through retrofits on projects.
And spray foam can apparently stop radon infiltration in buildings. So maybe you could explain how it does that, and if there's other harmful substances that it keeps away.
Yeah, well, actually, radon is a radioactive gas that is released by the breakdown of uranium in the soil. It's odorless, tasteless, colorless, and can enter homes and enclosed space, mostly basements, through crack and unsealed areas. So that's why using heat-lock soya HFO is one of the most effective way to stop radon from entering buildings. The product has the insulation with one of the highest R value per inch, and also as the air and vapor barrier, as mentioned previously. The fact that it expands through every holes and crack and self-seals the most common construction materials makes the application very easy and ensure a perfectly sealed basement. It does not need any sealant or tape, so it reduces the risk for errors and badly installed products. It is also very resistant to construction traffic compared to easily punctured products that are commonly installed for this purpose. The spray foam is also one of the few products to be tested for radon diffusion, because radon mostly travels through air but can also diffuse through materials. At only 1 inch and a quarter, our product performs 65 times better than a poly, which is what the building code recommends, and is therefore the perfect solution for a dry, mold-free, and radon-free basement.
Okay, and as the time goes on, what demands do you see for this product? I mean, other than the obvious of insulation, but how do you think that's going to develop?
Well, with the new energy efficiency requirements, the thickness of insulation is bound to increase along with the construction cost. Spray foam is a solution in the commercial market to keep a reasonable construction budget while meeting the new requirements. And for residential construction, it is also a solution to meet the ever-increasing requirements, but also provide a durable and radon-free building envelope with a product that does not have an impact on global warming potential and is made out of recycled and renewable materials.
And just one other question: if you're a contractor and you've done a lot of traditional installation and this is a new technique, what's the learning curve for installing this, as opposed to, because it is a different way of doing things?
Correct. Yeah, you cannot just go at our office and buy spray foam on top of the shelf. So applicators always need to be trained first. So they need to be third party certified. So that means that they will have to go for a week of training, which include technical training and also on-site training for the application. So it's really an in-depth training about our product, about safety, about the chemical reaction of the product, and all the equipment, also how to use it, how to spray, what's the limit of the system, things like that. So it's really a good training for applicators, so people can be reassured that the applicator that's on site or in their home has been trained and knows how to install our products.
Okay, and if people want to go do that training, or if they just want to learn about the product, about Huntsman, where should they go to find that out?
They should go on our website at huntsmanbuildingsolutions.com. They can find plenty of information, whether it's about our product, its application, and the training as well, or they can contact us by phone directly to schedule a training. There are many available sessions during the year for this training.
Okay, great. Thanks, Maxime.
Thanks, Warren.
This episode of The Construction Record is brought to you by the Ontario Sewer and Water Main Construction Association. Clean water is everybody's business.